Hello everyone, Blue Moon Samurai here, and I would like to talk about the wonderful world of Yuri Anthologies, or women's love anthologies. Quick note, these manga all have nudity in them. I'll discuss further about the sexual content in case that's something someone out there isn't interested in, which is fine. Now, of all the anthologies I'm going to talk about, this one's the most graphic sexual content. Not really to a hentai level, but there is sex. Now, I'm not going to discuss each individual story in each of these anthologies, but I do want to mention the first story in Even Eve, which is actually the cover art story. And it's just because it's my favorite, and I just love it so much. It's about Seiyu, who's a Japanese woman, and Nika, who is a Russian woman. They can't understand what the other is saying, but they communicate with body language, and they understand each other by feelings. That sounds really lame when I say it, but it's really sweet. And this story also properly introduced me to Yuri pregnancy, which when I first heard that, I thought it was a weird fetish, and I'm sure it is for some people, which is fine. Not kink shaming. But yeah, I just thought it was just a weird fetish thing, but it actually makes for some really wholesome stories, and, well, most of them are wholesome. There's another story later on in this volume that also has Yuri pregnancy, but it's a little off-putting at first, but it redeems itself later on. All in all, I'm really looking forward to more of Nagashiro Rouge's works, because I like the stories in here. I especially love this first story. I love reading it. I read this, the first story over and over. Even if I'm not reading the entire book, it's just that first story I love. The next manga is a woman's love anthology called Whenever Our Eyes Meet. It's a collection of short stories written, drawn by various artists, like most anthologies. And it's about working women finding love. And it's all the stories are based in reality, and so that may feel kind of samey for some people, but I really like it because it's easy to relate to. Possibly, I think that's mainly because I am in the same age group as the characters, albeit on the younger end, but I'm still a working woman. And there aren't any sex scenes, but there are a few sexual implications. And as I said, there's nudity in all of these. The final 3 volumes are part of an ongoing series called Syrup, and the series has the most variety in art and story, as there's some fantastical elements to some of them, while some other stories are based in reality. Now, each volume has a theme which I really like, and the first one is the most wholesome. There's still sexual implications, nudity, but the first theme is budding love. So just finding someone you're interested in, and maybe start a relationship, or at least thinking about the possibility of that. Second volume's theme is secret love, such as affairs, unrequited love, forbidden romances, which includes workplace relations, implied incest, concerning age gaps, and a wasp and a caterpillar. Actually, my favorite story in this volume unfortunately deals with the concerning age gap, but it's my favorite story because I like the idea, and I think it'd make for a really good series, just not with romance, but rather with a familial relationship. And I also like the art in that story. It's by Ito Hachi, who appears in all 3 volumes. Her art, it's a very detailed but very cute style. She often does lolly type character styles and little furry ears. But it's a very cute art style, and I want to read more of her stuff just because I like her art style, and I really like some of her stories, or the stories that she's written, even though some of them are a bit weird. The style almost has a whimsical feeling, even though even her first story in the first volume has is seemingly based in reality. It has a very whimsical, fantastical feeling. and I just like, it's cute. There's actually a second artist I want to bring up. Her name is Machizaki Natsumi. She has like a really nice art style, but what really brings me in is like she has like classic shoujo eyes, like from the 70s and 60s, where it's just like long eyelashes and like very sparkly eyes. And I just like, it's a nice mix of like somewhat, it's her own style, somewhat modern, with the classic shoujo eyes. Like, they're usually shown in close-ups, and I just like that. She's in the first 2 volumes, but I hope she's in like the upcoming ones, however long this series runs. Also, her first story begins and ends with white huge tits, and I respect that. And so the final volume's theme is about the first time having sex, even if it's like just with a woman, like their first time with a woman if they've been with a man before for some of them, or if it's only one character's first time. But needless to say, this has the most sex scenes out of the anthologies, but it's still not as detailed as Even Eve. Most of these stories are actually pretty sweet, as for most people, the first time is usually fun and awkward. And so it's just like, it can be kind of relatable for some of these. Some people, there's especially one where like a woman's lying, it's like, oh yeah, I've definitely been with like 5 other people. It's not my first time. It's definitely your first time. And like, that one especially is like really sweet. Needless to say, I'm really excited for volume 4, which unfortunately won't be coming out until January 11th of 2022. But anyway, I couldn't find the theme for volume 4, but I'm so excited. It'll be a surprise. And that's it for the anthologies I have and have read. But as I was like looking up stuff and like reading through, I've discovered a 5-volume anthology, girls' love anthology, called Eclair, and I have to buy all the volumes immediately. So subscribe. No, but that's it. I hope I've provided some nice recommendations if that's something you want. And if you have any more, like, it doesn't even have to be anthologies, but if you have any like story recommendations for me to read in the future, I'd be greatly appreciative, because I like lesbians. No, I am looking forward to reading I'm in Love with the Villainess. That sounds like a really cute light novel series. Yeah, that's everything. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.